I'm gonna blame it on the. All right, hello, wonderful people. We are man short today. I think Sonder might be coming on through the back door, but not through the green room. He's moving on to do some new other awesomeness. So hopefully, he comes on. One of my favorite humans, but nevertheless, I have my other partner in crime, the man with the plan, the South Carolinian, doing the thing. I actually had a friend heading to Greenville. How
Oh, cool.
interesting.
Doing what, like moving
Yeah.
here just for
No, just a little vacay, visiting some people and stuff like that. Uh, we have a ton of product actually. There's a couple cool updates that Logan, the recharge, obviously, and then some really cool stuff going on in custom expenses. But first, I got some latest news for you. You want to jump into that? And then, as always, any questions you guys have, drop them in the chat or the questions box, and we will happily answer. This webinar is for you all, so we want you to make sure that you feel like this is time for value for you all. Can I throw the Shopify editions your way first?
yeah. I
Like,
watched it live, so I want to hear what you how you're feeling about it.
yeah, so I think this is one of the best rollouts ever. One, I think they've always done really well. I think this is pioneered by Airbnb personally, where Brian Chesky, they have that just blast of like here. Honestly, I think this is the best way to release this type of features because it's not enough. Like you can have the pillars, but there's just so much there. So here are the big ones that I really liked. And for people that are following along, and let me actually, I can just share my screen because the website's so beautiful. Share a screen. Da, 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 da. I guess anybody in the chat or on the show, what are you guys really excited about? So the big ones for me are obviously Sidekick is really cool. I think if that lands, that becomes really cool. It's essentially Shopify's AI assistant. It becomes really interesting to me really quickly. The subscription app is something that is pretty interesting. So Love Shop app. Not super excited about that. The subscription app gets really interesting really quickly. This is Shopify is almost turning into like a small Apple, and I guess this is kind of the nature of when you own an ecosystem, like an app store. But there's the kids probably don't know, but there's an old term called Sherlocked in the Apple ecosystem, and Apple will essentially you would build your app, and then if your app kind of caught some traction or did really well, Apple would then create one and integrate it natively. And so I think this is pretty scary for the recharges of the world, which is going to dovetail nicely with our integration. But I think it's really interesting. So you have the Shopify app, I think is really cool. This drag and drop editor looks pretty dope. Um, B2B, I think is really interesting. So now you can really have a nice, especially for a lot of our clients, their B2B and consumer business kind of gets just mixed all together. And that can really throw off a lot of metrics, performance. You get some bulk order for 1,000 orders or something like that. It just totally destroys all your metrics because that's not necessarily one that wasn't acquired through marketing or traditional marketing channels. It's a B2B. So I think that's really interesting. This is something that I've been pumped forever, and I was talking about it and thought it was like a Bernstein Bears moment. But yes, Shopify Collective is real, and so this is something that I'm really excited about. So Shopify Collective, for example, Logan has a pickleball store and he's selling pickleball paddles and pickleball balls and et cetera, et cetera, maybe pickleball lessons for in person or whatever. Then he could even on that have maybe some Viore clothing on there, or maybe a Simple Modern water bottle, or things that are non-competitive but periphery to your business that you really vouch for. So I think that's I think curation is going to be something that's going to be a big theme this year of really highlighting really awesome products that might not have been highlighted before. The bundles app is really interesting. Again, another Sherlock where this used to be an app that you would have to buy or pay for from somebody. So that's pretty interesting. The Shopify credit I have to dig more into. I think it's interesting esque. One of the biggest things here is the power of the default. And so if all things being equal, you have the same terms for like a Wayflyer or something like that, and you can just click a button in Shopify and get your Shopify credit. I think that gets really interesting. Like the power, I mean, Microsoft got basically put in naughty jail for the power of the default because they
Mhm.
put Explorer on everything. So again, the kids probably don't get that one. API stuff is kind of pretty cool. And then again, the AI is going to sit across all of their ecosystem, which is pretty crazy, pretty cool. The Shopify inbox actually is pretty interesting to me as well. And then the checkout. But for the big ones, I think it was the Sidekick, the subscriptions app, the supercharging, the online editor, the Shopify Collective, which I'm very, very bullish on. Address validation is something that you can have, but now that it's built in, it's really nice. Because I actually have like a weird address that it always gets corrected, and then everything as well. The Marketplace Connect, I think, is really cool as well. So you can easily share product now to your Amazon, your eBay, other e-commerce stores. The B2B features and the bundle features are pretty interesting to me. So yeah, I mean, I think they nailed it. I mean, I think the way they've portrayed it, the online stuff, the things they've built, and if you guys are actually into product marketing, they just I think it was is it Patty or Lenny? I can't remember who did it. Let me see. Actually, I have it right here. They just did a whole breakdown of how they actually develop product at Shopify, and it's really fantastic. Um, have you seen it, Logan?
No,
It's
show me.
Yeah, it's Lenny. So let me share this other screen. What are you guys really excited about? Is there anybody in the chat that's super stoked about any of these or have tried them and then they don't think that they're as good as they are portrayed? Or okay, cool. So this one is I thought was really cool. And so we won't go too deep into this because this gets into product stuff. But basically, the AAA framework. So you have aiming, assembling, and achieving, and then this is how it sets up. And so it's really cool because you sometimes you're the person in the actual leadership role might not necessarily be the best aimer because they don't have the domain expertise and it's just inherited because of hierarchy, and this kind of blows all that out of the water. It's really cool. So they did a huge deep dive on this. It was really cool. And then they also actually even deeper, where was it, he has a this one. So they have their own built-in get shit done tracker, and this is kind of how it looks. And I think this is just such a beautiful way to look at it, where you have your proposal, your prototype, your build, your release, your results. And I think it's just spot on. So I hope Shopify doesn't pop yet because I really want to take a position now. It's a little cheap, and I think they're doing just incredible work there. But yeah, so kudos to Shopify. I think it's just been really really beautiful to see them work. And I'm actually working on an essay right now in terms of really how to build that brand, because they have just this incredible brand, but then they also have this figurehead and Harley, and I've been blown away. I've been really interested in how they're building. Speaking of brand, um, what'd you think of the rebrand from Twitter to X? What are your thoughts
I
there?
just don't get it. Funny enough, um, most of my time on Twitter is split between two reasons. One, I log into my main account to keep up with
Oh, you got a
direct.
burner. Oh, look at
Well, I have
this
the Sunday
guy.
Deacon Club. I have the Sunday Deacon Club account. So I have like my own personal account, which I'm keeping up with all direct to consumer. That's all I do on it. And then I have the Sunday Dinking Club, which I'm keeping up with all pickleball news.
Sure.
But I like logged in, and like the first time I heard about it was somebody. It was a story about how Twitter did not have all
Yeah.
of the rights to this X whatever they were trying to do,
Yeah.
and how they were fighting litigation on like this rebrand they did. But I didn't even know the
Yeah.
rebrand had happened. I was like, what
Yeah.
is this? Like it's still twitter.com. I don't know.
Yeah, Meta owns one, Microsoft owns one. There's like 900 people that have like same but different trademarks on X, which is
Gotcha.
not great, not great. But
Can you give me the
from
30-second pitch on what this is? Is he literally
so
changing a
it
name?
well, no, it's supposed to be the whole brand. So the too long didn't read is he actually started a company called X.com back in the day that ended up morphing into the payment gateway that that basically became PayPal. He had a huge basically fight with who was it, Max Levchin, or I can't remember. One of the big PayPal mafia people ended up losing, and they named it PayPal. And so he's just wanted to have an X.com. What I've heard, the big big vision is to make it kind of like a WeChat, kind of like, I don't know how familiar you are with the WeChat in China, but it's basically like that everything app. Like you can pay your rent, you can buy stuff, you can chat, you can do. So that's supposedly what the end game is, to have this X.com that you can go into it. Um, the
How do you
fact
feel
that
about
you
that?
just well, that and the fact that you would just nuke one of the most like iconic brands. I mean, iconic might be laudatory, but at least recognizable brands, right? And then from that, there's so many derivatives from the main brand. And so, like, personally, for me, it's just a little bit haphazard because, yeah, there's an X at the top, but there's tweet everywhere.
Yeah,
There's
that's what I'm saying. It's
followers,
Twitter.com.
there's tweet. And so you're just kind of like, it feels very, yeah, not necessarily he's playing 4D chess. I don't get it because I don't know why, or I don't know what the yeah, I'm pretty flabbergasted by it, candidly, and then I don't know how far this goes because, again, there's so many knock-on effects from changing that. And, like, again, there's just Twitter and tweet and followers proliferated throughout the ecosystem. So what do those change to, like X's or
Let's
and
just
then
move to Threads and be done with it.
yeah, and so it's I don't know. I found it very, very interesting. Okay, enough Elon bashing, or not bashing, but I just again, if you guys have any inside info or if you think it's a great idea, please enlighten me because I think it's a really interesting move, and I have yet to see why I would do something like that. But again, I'm the poor kid, and he's one of the richest men in the world. And then lastly, Oppenheimer and Barbie. Did you see either of them?
No, me getting
No.
to a movie. I haven't been to a movie in I don't know how long. I'm just hoping that I'm not going to see Barbie. I mean, if it's
Hmm.
free on HBO or whatever, I might check it
Sure.
out. But Oppenheimer, I'm just hoping that it comes out on
Max.
HBO. I'm sorry,
Max.
hopefully it comes out on Max.
Another absolutely atrocious brand strategy, but not here
I
nor there.
agree. I agree. Actually, one thing that I think that is missing that I used to love about HBO, and I want to know who does this. So maybe we can bring this into e-commerce and branding,
Yeah.
but Netflix has the when you load it up, it's boom boom,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
And HBO's always had the static, the
Yeah.
and then it's like,
Yep.
right. I think they got rid of it, right?
I hope not, but you might be right. I haven't watched you know what, now that I think of it,
Like
maybe.
the old content has it, but I haven't
Yeah.
looked at like new content to see if it's
Oh my
got that.
gosh, you're right. I don't know. I have to know cuz yeah, that was just the mental cue. You're like, "Oh yeah, I'm watching
Like, how
HBO
many
like
people could
sound
hear
design."
the Netflix thing and know that's Netflix? Like, think
Yeah.
about think about audio recall. That's so like
Yes.
we don't talk
Yeah.
about that at all. Like we talk about brand recall, like if you see like the arches, McDonald's, but like no one talks about these audio cues that make you
Yeah.
think of a podcast or um, an app like this.
Yeah. Mo, let's see. I think it's more of a political move to get back each sides of the party who left. 2024 is going to be a shit show. I definitely agree 2024 is going to be a shit show, but w- pontificate a little bit on what that means. I don't get the political move part of it. Um yeah, so just some quick hits on the Barbie Oppenheimer. I think Oppenheimer did a buck 76. No, Barbie did, let me see
It was like
actually.
half of what Barbie did, right?
Uh, let me see here. Well, these are openers, but this is a day. This doesn't have the 17th in it. Dang it. Let me see this real quick. It was the first time like there had been openers of that magnitude um in forever. Barbie
Yeah, I
movie.
looked up the top while you're looking that up. I looked up the top 20 opening weekends of all time,
Yep.
and easily like 6 or 7 of the top 10 were all Marvel something,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And a lot of two or three were Avengers. I've never seen it, but I'm sure it's good.
Avengers printed some money. They
Yeah.
did well. So Barbie's opening weekend is 24th biggest of all time. But again, this is cutting off a day, so it did even more money because it has it at 155, but I think it did 176.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, you're right. Avengers, Spider Man, Avengers, Star Wars, Jurassic World. Oppenheimer was the biggest for an R-rated movie since 2019, the 12th biggest of all time. The 2019 was The Joker. This
Yeah.
weekend. This weekend overall is the fourth biggest weekend of all time. That's what it was, topping over 300 million. And then if you take out like Avengers and Star Wars, they basically did 300 on their own. Just it's insane. That's insane to me. But yeah, I was just really 100% the money was worth it. I mean, I think they had like $150 million budget. I think the budget was almost more. The marketing budget was actually more than the actual production budget. But man, did it land! I thought it was absolute masterclass. I mean, it is what a what an
I
absolute
wonder who owns Barbie. Is it like Mattel or whatever?
Mattel. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Mattel. So they're going to be printing some money, but it's pretty cool to see. I think it's been one of the better brand marketing plays I've seen in a while. Okay, I think that's all I got for latest news. Unless you guys have some interesting things that you want us to chat about or jam on. But Logan, you have some cool stuff to show us, right? So you want to tease a little bit more of if you don't want to jump in and you already have a beautiful, wonderful recharge integration printing you money, you'll be able to see it in Triple Well soon, I think.
Yeah, yeah. So unfortunately, I don't have a lot to show off, but I have a lot to talk about, or a little bit to
Mm-hmm.
tell. So yeah, Recharge, the official integration's coming. I think Thursday of next week is the official launch date.
Yep.
Although, if you're here and you want to get some little beta access, ping us. We might be able to get you in if you already have
Let's
Recharge.
go.
If you're not in beta already, let us know. I'm also really curious, like from a product perspective, if you're going to jump on the bandwagon of Shopify's new release, I'd love to know like what you're giving up, because I
Ooh,
never know
that's a
how
good
deep
call.
Shopify is going to go with something. So like, how much would you have to give up to go to Reach or go to Shopify over Recharge in functionality or something? But yeah, so essentially, a lot of what we're excited about on that front is, I think it's a quarter of our stores or more are using Recharge. And then there's even more, a higher percentage that have other apps like Bold or Skio. So subscription is a pretty big part of the ecosystem that we serve. So what I'm really excited about is just giving people the ability to look at not only sales data, not only new customer data, but also to look at how much of that is tied up into new subscription, recurring subscription, and not having to parse through like the order tags that we were getting before. Um,
Yep.
this is like direct from the API. And even more exciting, I think it'll be great to have like a burn down chart is not the right word. It's like an opposite of I guess it's a churn flow chart, almost like our cohort analysis. But soon you'll be able to do like cohorts based on churn. So not only like acquired in January, what percent is left after 3 months or 6 months, but also like what are the economics of acquiring a subscriber through Facebook, and how well do they perform over time
Yep.
as compared to maybe something through like, I mean, you would hope there's like word of mouth. There's maybe like YouTube or Google or other channels you might be utilizing to gain those subscribers. So yeah, it's exciting. We're gonna have like almost, I want to say it's almost like 10 different metrics on the summary page. All the stuff that you'd most likely care about, which is like first time subscription, recurring subscription revenue, churn percentage, number of churns, all those things are coming through. And then on the Pixel, if you have recharge
Can,
integration, okay.
can I ask you? Yeah, is there going to be like an actual breakout of recharge as well, or it's just going to live on the summary page?
Explain more, like a breakout where.
You know how we used to? Oh, I guess we don't have the channels anymore, huh? So we don't have because we used to have the channels where you could drill into your Klaviyo, your Facebook, your Google, et
Oh
cetera, and
yeah,
there'd
yeah,
be
we
that
got rid
more
of that a
detail.
while back.
Those are all gone. Okay, yeah, never mind.
Yeah.
Moot point. Sorry, I didn't mean to mess up your flow. This is awesome.
No, good, but yeah, it'll be a dedicated section on the summary page, and then like, you know, tying this all together, we're building a pretty robust CDP, customer data platform.
Yeah.
And all this data that we can ingest from these different APIs are going to live in one customer profile, which the team is working on. So, which that helps you power audiences that we have available. That helps you build segmentation and filtering in the Pixel and in the cohorts page, product analytics. It's like how many customers who are subscribing to me are buying this versus that, and understanding the economics of how much it costs to acquire them and what they're reordering. So lots of fun stuff there. The Pixel will have like 4 new um, columns available for recharge. It'll be like subscription started as a metric. So you could actually look at like total orders, new orders, and subscriptions. And then we'll have the ability for you to toggle subscriptions on or off if you prefer to view attribution with recurring subscriptions turned off, as an example. So you could only hone in and focus in on new customers acquired. Or if you wanted to like make your day range really big, let's say last 90 days, what's the 90-day LTV, including recurring subscription of Facebook, and toggle it on and off to kind of see what the differences are in the conversion value.
I love that. I love that. What are you most excited about? Is it basically just the fidelity into that subscription, kind of proliferating out through the ecosystem, so you can get a little bit more granular in terms of how you market, how you acquire subscriptions, or what lights you up?
Yeah, I'm kind of curious, like right out of the gate, like how many, like we'll see with different stores, but I'm excited to see the total purchase count, new customer purchase count, and subscription purchase count. Because I'm curious,
Ooh,
like I personally am like as a shopper, am not that interested in signing up for a subscription out of the gate. So I'm
same.
really curious, like um, how many folks are buying subscription out of the gate and like giving that kind of granularity to our customers on a per channel or per ad basis. And I'm not sure how many people have that goal. I'm not sure how many folks are like doing a trial or, hey, place this order, and then they're trying to upsell them into the recharge, or not recharge, but like
Whatever subscription.
experience. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I always found it interesting because I think it's hard to, or from the consumer psychology angle, it's hard to get somebody to commit to something they haven't tried. Right. So it's like, why do I want to commit to something if I try it and I don't like it? That's the end of it. Versus now I have to go in here, cancel the subscription. Did they send it already? Do I have to pay for it? Like, there's all this like mental baggage that comes with the subscription. Yeah. Do you have any subscriptions?
Dog food.
Dog food. Ooh, I love dog food.
Yeah, and it's been years and years and years. Like I'm sure they have a lot of great customers, but we've got to be up there. It's been like years. We don't ever turn it off.
Yeah,
Um,
that's a good one.
but you know what else
Consumables.
I would do is like trying to think of a consumable. Like right now, we go to Costco for our coffee, but I would totally be down for some sort of coffee subscription, just because I know I'm blasting through it, and as long as
Yeah.
like give me the ability to update my flavor palettes or profiles, I would do it. I've also really thought about doing the wine thing.
Oh, that'd
Uh,
be fun.
yeah, just because I remember like, is it Wink or one of the other
Wink,
ones? They used to
wink.
do like,
They RIP, but yeah,
oh
same,
god,
same. They
well,
went.
whoever out there was doing the flavor profile, so like you could
Mhm.
review it and say like, this is what I liked, this is what I didn't like, and they would like, it's almost like old school AI, right? Just tell you
Yeah,
what you need next. But Gary V's thing has always interested me. He has a wine club that I've always
yeah.
thought would be fun to do. I'm just so cheap. I don't know. I buy like $12 bottle of wine.
Yeah, that's it. $2 Chuck. Trader Joe's made a huge. They make a nut off of that. No, I'm with you. I think the only, what am I trying to think? The only subscriptions I have are like hair care stuff. So like my shampoo and conditioner, but even then, it's on a like 2 month cycle, just because that's one of the things with subscriptions. If your products aren't sized in kind of like a monthly consumption, it gets into this weird, like, when do you want me to send it? Is it every two
Yeah.
months? Is every quarter? Is it? And so that's something that I think better, or consumables for sure. But that's why. So a friend of mine, we actually did a podcast together, Atlas Coffee Club. That's basically what they do, is they send you new coffee every month, but it's from like around the world, and they wrap it in this really cool story and narrative, and they send you the beans, et cetera, et cetera. So I think that alcohol is a really good one. Things of that nature, where you either know you're going to use it, or it's sized in a way that you will get through it within the month. Because that's the, for me, the death rattle of a subscription is once I have like two already in the cupboard, and then there's like another one lands at my door. I'm like, I don't need all this toothpaste or something like that. So I think you're spot on there.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm now that you mentioned it, I'm just racking my brain trying to think of what do I do in my life that I have these consumables outside of food.
Yeah, because so I have food, I got hair care stuff, cologne I don't go through quick enough.
But you know, what would be a fun one is like what you guys were doing at the Austin office with like snacks. Like as a
That's
remote
cool.
employee, I'd be down to like have fresh new snacks
Snack
delivered
box.
monthly.
Yeah, snack box is cool. Yeah, I'm trying to think of the other one. Mudwater was a cool one. Athletic Greens. Supplements is not bad. Where you want your protein delivered. You know, you're going to go through X amount of protein every month. Trying to think of. I did Stitch Fix for a little while. Did you ever do Stitch Fix? That was a really cool. They kicked out the founder, and I think she's coming back now.
Okay.
But yeah, it was like one of the pandemic stocks, and then it was interesting because they tried to integrate AI. So it was essentially kind of like, to your point, like this old school AI where they would bring in these either ladies or men, and then they would kind of have a little bit of recommendation power on what you get sent. And then they wanted to kind of go the Uber route where it's like, we don't need drivers, we can do it all through AI. And then the boxes just got terrible. But it was a really cool, like, it's one of those things of like, great idea, but the execution kind of fell flat. But it was great because it was essentially they'd ship you all this box, and then they'd incentivize you economically to like buy all the whole box because you would save like $100 versus buying like it piecemeal. But yeah, that was an interesting one because it was nice because I wanted to keep like clothes hit, but I hate shopping, if that makes sense, like having to go out and pick stuff. And so it was nice for the stylist to just send me a box. I think that was the last. What else do I got? I got a car wash subscription, but that doesn't really count, does it? Because it's not really
Not
online.
coming to your doorstep. Yeah, it's
Yeah, I have to go to it. That's a really good bifurcation. Yeah, I have to go to it. I think I would subscribe to groceries if I could get my act together. And it's like, here's like my meal plans and stuff. I did that for a little while, but then again, I ran into the like, I wasn't eating through them fast enough or things of that nature. So I just felt like I was wasteful. But um, yeah, interesting stuff. But yeah, so if you guys are on Recharge, ping Logan. He can get you on the fast track to getting that. If not, it'll be, you said next week ish?
I mean, I think, yeah, it's going to be Thursday's the public announcement. But like I said,
Mm.
if you're listening, might be able to get you in early. So hit me up.
Logan might know a guy.
I might know someone. Um,
Amazing. What else you got for me?
yeah. So the next one I'm really excited about. If you go on LinkedIn, you're going to get the deets. But we're working out a bit of a bug that on this. But anyway, regardless, here's what I'm excited about. Forever, people have been like, "Hey, it's really great that you're tracking like my Criteo or my Tatari
Hmm.
or Attentive, right? We've talked about this in the podcast too many times, Attentive or Klaviyo, but I want to be able to import my costs for those channels. So the good news is now you can. So you can go into the cost settings, set up a fixed expense, and you can actually label this expense as all the sources we've captured for you over the last 30 days. So that just means we had to have at least captured one session in the last 30 days for it to populate. And so things like Attentive, Criteo, Klaviyo, you could set up a band of expenses. So for all of June, Klaviyo or Attentive cost you XYZ. Additionally, let's say you're running like a back in stock campaign
Hmm.
for Attentive and you wanted to understand like what you knew that it cost you $1,000, but you want to look at the ROI from Attentive, but also the ROI in Triple Whale, you can add it at the campaign level as well. The part that we're working through right now is that the ROI part, the ROAS, is not being updated automatically in the table. So it'll be Monday before we can get the ROAS and the CPA, anything that has spend associated with it, updated. So coming
This,
soon.
this is something I'm very excited for, as you can tell.
Right.
Um, so what, and then so you're going to be able to say, because for Klaviyo, aren't you charged monthly? How do you know how much you're going to pay?
Yeah, like so for Klaviyo, it's not really built for Klaviyo to be honest. This was built for it's being built to help support some new custom expenses we're going to do for Affluencer Hub.
Okay.
But because we needed to do it anyway, we're like, hey, let's roll this out to any source. Like, why should we just limit it to Affluencer Hub? Because soon, what you better do at Affluencer Hub is create custom expenses for any period of time over time. Right now, it's just like one expense, which is not the reality of like a long-term relationship with an influencer. So,
Okay.
um, and then beyond that, it's again, a lot of customers haven't asked us so much about Klaviyo. It's more like I'm running traffic through Criteo, Taboola, even am I thinking of? It's another ad network. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Any
Yeah.
kind of network you're using that's not integrated directly with Triple Whale, or
Yeah.
we can't pull those expenses in.
Yeah.
Like even before with like Bing, before we had Microsoft, right? This allows you to set up like an expense, and you would probably do it on a monthly basis. Like last month, it cost me this. Let me upload that so that I can go back and look retroactively.
And
Um,
see.
yeah, and see
That's
how things
interesting.
shook out.
It's interesting. I dig it. I dig it. That's super interesting. Let's see. What else you got coming that you're really excited about? So we have the. Can you spill any tea? Is there anything under the hood that you're working on that is really exciting?
Yeah, I mean, Affluencer Hub is definitely one part that's being worked on a lot. I mean, we were working this past week on subscription analytics, which we just touched on.
Yep.
Um, and then Affluencer Hub 2.0. The big part here that's pretty exciting is that customers are already using third-party tools like Pepper Jam's a good one. And so
Pepper
if you have a
jam.
Pepper Jam right now, I think the standard default UTM
Great
tagging they
name.
do is like UTM source is Pepper Jam. And then what we know on our end is we take the UTM source and the campaign. And I'm fairly certain that what they do is the campaign is like an ID that maps back to an influencer name in their system. So in
Okay.
Triple Whale, it's like, all right, I can see I have all this traffic from Pepper Jam. That's cool. I know that's my influencers and affiliates. But then beyond that, it's like, wait, campaign 1, 2, 3, 4, campaign 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't know what that means. And so soon we're going to be able to allow you to upload all of your influencers to like a CSV, and
Oh, that's
we'll
brilliant.
walk you through that mapping process. So column B is source, and we know that Pepper Jam equals influencers and affiliates, right? It'll go to the Affluencer Hub. We know that campaign ID 1, 2, 3 maps back to name equals Robert Rahil, right?
Yep.
So that's all that's going to get done for you. And then we'll have like a Google sheet that you can have on your own that maps back, so you can add new ones to it. You can also add expenses there, which is part of this custom expense thing we were doing. So I'm really excited for people to have a more visualization of like the true performance of these folks in their Triple Whale account. And then we're also moving or duplicating everything you see in Affluencer Hub is going to go to the pixel page itself. So you don't have to like click on affluencers and go to this other experience. You can stay in the pixel table and visualize the performance. So it's coming soon as well.
Interesting. For it looks like they got bought too. Partnerized. I don't know who that is. Peppa
Who's that?
Jam. Peppa
Oh, Pepper
Jam. Yeah,
Jam.
what
Okay.
a great name. Um, are we gonna do any sort of payouts or reconciliation, or we still that still is gonna be handled offline?
Yeah, still handled offline. You mean like paying out
Okay.
the influencer themselves?
Yeah, yeah, because sometimes you'll have like well, I guess because affluencer was supposed to be a mashup of affiliates and influencers, right? Influencers, or and correct me if I'm wrong, but my understanding is an influencer is somebody that I have there. There's a direct payment for X, Y, or Z, where affiliate is you get paid for what you kill. So like if you do bring in deals, but there's no upfront cost, if that makes sense. And I'm sure you can have a mix of deals, but that's kind of how I bifurcate affiliate from an influencer where like Logan, I want you to promote pickleball for this, promote this product. Here's X amount of dollars versus like, hey, anybody that really wants to promote Sunday Dink Club will give you, 10% sauce on anything that comes through your affiliate code, but there's no actual upfront or any kind of running payment. You basically get a cut of what you kill versus an influencer is compensated at X, Y, or Z amount. And you can have, like I said, a mix of deals, but usually that's how they're structured, or that's how I've seen an influencer and affiliate be differentiated.
Yeah. So the way it works right now, yeah, good point. So the way it works now is that you can take the either or route
Okay.
within Affluencer Hub. So let's say you're creating one from scratch right now.
Mm-hmm.
You can actually tell us that every order that has either discount code XYZ or they click this link, um, that percent per order, the value will go to them as an expense. We're
Yep.
just not doing any of the payout side of it. We're not
Tracking. Okay.
actually doing the transaction of like they're, you're going to pay them $500 and do it through our system. It's just like whatever the customer tells us is the affiliate fee is what we'll log in Triple Whale as the expense. And then
Deduct that from the net profit.
and it'll be like in ROAS, right? So that's like the spend column is the 10% you paid per order. It's like the CPA, right?
Interesting. Interesting. Okay. That's
Right. So like
fascinating.
if you are the affiliate and you have a YouTube channel and I'm going
Uh-huh.
to give you 10% of every order,
Yep.
it just get that 10%, let's say it's a $100 order, that $10 will be calculated in the spend column and is like a cost per acquisition, essentially the 10% that we are letting
Interesting.
you
I
give out.
like that. Huh. That's interesting. I can dig it. I like it. So then you can either scale up or give people more or less or I like that. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Um, did I see some stuff about new customer journeys or no? Was that another Bernstein Bears moment? I told you guys I'm getting old.
No, I mean, we're hopeful that we've talked about it on the pod a couple of times, but it got backed up due to our next gen backfill. So like if you've noticed now in the pixel page, we have current gen, next gen. That's because we have revamped the ID graph that we built and are
Yep.
able to connect some bigger journeys than we originally thought we could. So because of that journey feature, we're backfilling for the new customer journeys 2.0. And that has a couple of cool things with it. One, we're including all sources now instead of just like the integrated sources that we have.
Yep.
That'll be great. You can go down to the campaign level of any source. That'll be great.
Yep.
We're going to expand it from, I think right now we're at 6 stages to 10 stages long. Um, and yeah, that we're actually hopeful that that might be able to launch next week, or at least be ready for testing. Um, we're doing some front end work that allows you to kind of map. Let's say you want to visualize the Facebook top of funnel Advantage Plus campaign.
Mm-hmm.
You can choose that campaign and then view how it maps elsewhere. But you could also like choose in the next phase or the next stage. I want to see Advantage Plus to Google search as an example. So you can choose those two campaigns and only see traffic that flow through them, or orders that flow through them. So we're still just trying to make sure that's like a good experience, because if you're a really big advertiser, you likely have a lot of campaigns. And so
Yes.
it just needs to be kind of like a fluid. I'm choosing this. I know I have a filter applied. How can I back out of it if I want to go and look at a different one? Just little things like that.
Yeah. The product analytics page has gotten a huge upgrade. Have we talked about that yet? This looks great.
We did talk about it a bit last time, but if you want to share your screen, I could probably take a
Yeah.
stab at.
Let me
Not
jump
my exact
into
area of expertise, but I can do my best.
a different account. Where's the good old Madison?
Yeah,
Powerful
yeah,
Madison
yeah.
braids. Powerful Madison braids. No questions today. Little quiet crowd. All good. All good. Everybody's working, getting the last of the summer in. When does summer end? September, right? July.
Well,
Oh, we still have a whole nother month. Yeah, August is 100%
I feel
summer.
like the parents are always using summer as the school year, but
Yeah, you're fired up, right? No, they don't
doesn't
go
really
to.
matter for me.
Yeah, you don't send them off to what, like 4 or 5, something like that.
Something like that. Probably 5,
It's
not
probably
4.
5. Yeah,
Maybe
I
they'll go
know.
to some sort of preschool or
You're a
something like
top
that.
performer.
Yeah,
Let's see if I can get this bigger. Maybe
yeah,
is that a little better?
yeah.
Ish.
It's good. Trying to like squint.
Oh, you are okay. Let me just do this then. That'll probably be better, and I'll just scroll for you. Is this better?
Yeah, I think so.
So you have all these columns. You can change your columns, right? So I can customize my columns.
Did we talk
Really,
about column presets? That launched last week. That's
you
pretty cool.
did. Logan's banging presets in the
All right, good. All
only
right.
in the
So
pixel, only in pixel. Um, but yeah, I really like this. It looks great. You have your contribution margin. You have a LTV 180, which is nice. You have your days of stock. You have your return rate. So this is what I would do if I was auditing a brand. So let's do like a 3-month look back. Oh, you even have percent changes here?
yeah, you can do it
Okay.
in the date selector. You can even compare it to last year if you want.
Why am I blanking out though?
Look
There
at
it is. Just
yeah,
needed a little
load
TLC.
time.
Um, So what I would do here is I would look at my top selling products. So I consider that high velocity. And then I would look at the top contribution margin. So honestly, like if I was running this brand account, this is interesting. The double Lulu. Um, you only really want to do paid media behind high contribution margin, so CM per unit or contribution margin. Um, and we don't give a percent, huh? So we just have it. That's nice, though, the unit economics there. So this should just be your COGS, right? Oh, gross. Okay, gross profit. Yeah, so your gross profit will be your COGS, and then we're also taking out your ad spend. I like it. I like it.
Yeah, and I
Um,
think you can make a percentage if you want to do. I think you can do custom expenses here, huh? If you click on the column selector button,
Ooh,
is
that's
that
neat.
working for us?
So you can do a lead time as well. So for people that don't know what lead time is, that's basically how long it takes for your factory. So Logan might need new pickleball paddles, and he knows it takes his factory 30 days to make them and then 15 days to ship them. So he would have a lead time of around 45 days from putting the PO in to actually it landing somewhere in his warehouses. Customized columns, is that what you want?
Yeah, and you can create a custom metric.
Number of ads, lead times. Now this is interesting. New customer revenue. Oh, it shows me my gross profit. Out of stock date. What's this? Percent. Total sold by total sold. That doesn't make any sense. Okay. So I
I
think
like
there might be a little bit digging deep into the total sold minus returns. We're in the
You're in the weeds now.
we're deep into the whale. Anyways, this is a pretty cool little tool that I have been really blown away by. Where it's pretty awesome to see. So,
I know
uh,
more and more filters are coming too. So if you click on the filter, I know there was an
ooh,
announcement somewhere that some new filters were coming out.
this is what
And
happens when you have a company wide test account.
oh yeah.
Yeah, everybody has the filters. Yeah, that's also something really interesting because as we're getting more and more bigger brands, you're getting more brands that have essentially the same product but different variants, right? And so you can see right here, like the Ashy is a way better seller than the Sunset Blonde, which is something that is
Oh wait,
something you
Kenny's
care about.
Kenny's still on. This is something I think Kenny asked for. If you go to the filter and you click create new filter, um, we just launched. If you click product, we have product type now. Wasn't he
Type.
asking about product type equal to like t-shirts versus polos versus whatever? Like let's say you're selling hoodies and you have it listed as a hoodie, you could look at all just like hoodies.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And then like I guess the next part is like you could apply that same filter to the cohort section and
Oh,
understand
really?
like anyone who ordered product type equal to hoodie, I'm pretty sure. Anybody who ordered product type equal to hoodie, what's that look like on a LTV and acquisition basis? Because like in my old company, we used to sell these like robes and they were awesome. They used to fly off the shelf, but from a contribution margin standpoint, it was tough because they cost a lot because they were so bulky to ship.
Yep.
And, cost to acquire is relative, right? But it was kind of a hefty cost to acquire sometimes
Oh, yeah,
when we
so
had,
this will sit across the whole thing.
yeah.
Oh, that's kind of dope. Ads campaign ID. Oh, this is interesting. So you can start to see where people came from and then look at an analysis that way. That's pretty slick.
Oh, yeah, that is cool. I didn't realize we had attribution already. I wonder if this comes from the pixel.
Or UTM, you're right. That's a good question. Yeah, this is nice though. Huh, look at that. Finding new stuff all the time.
That's right.
Um, but yeah, I've been really just poking around, and the product analytics and the cohorts have been pretty cool. And then we're doing some really awesome stuff in our CDPs here, which is pretty nice. where you can see your segments, you can segment your people, you can look at them. Okay, so this is what the actual filter is. Um, yeah, pretty cool actually. Pretty cool. We can't segment there yet, but um, yeah, I've been really interested in all this stuff, and you can also sync this as well, right, Logan? Or at least
Yeah.
dump it, I think,
I mean,
right?
to Facebook, yeah.
To
So
Facebook. Okay.
soon, I would say that right now, one of the cool things we're working on is a two-way integration with Klaviyo, where we can not only import all the data per customer and user level from them, because like right now, our customer database is actually customers, not just, let's say, a profile that has a unique ID or an email address or a phone number. They have to have ordered. So
Mm.
soon we'll be able to ingest all the Klaviyo data and then marry it with attentive data and other data sets so that you can create more robust profiles right here in Triple Whale. And then the two-way integration means we're going to send it back to Klaviyo so that you can use it for targeting, things like that.
Yeah, because from what AJ was telling me is that there is a, or we're catching more people than Klaviyo would. And so this would also help increase for out of stocks, for abandoned carts, those type of sends. If I am I talking outside of my mouth, or is that
No, that's like
correct?
version 2. What I'm
Okay.
describing is just
Okay.
the audience builder, but yeah,
Yeah.
there is an opportunity for us to enrich data to Klaviyo so that you can have likely, based on our early testing, likely a higher success rate of getting all abandoned carts, all browse abandons, so that you can send more emails in those flows.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, so lots of stuff going on here. I need to do another demo to rule them all. Post purchase surveys still cranking, right? So we have, that's one of the crazy things. Definitely, if you don't have it, get one, because the stuff I've seen with the attribution with total impact has been crazy, and you can't use total impact unless you have a PPS set up. So definitely go set that up because it is really really cool, and this is nice. This is a decent overlap. You don't see too much there. It's really good. But I've been blown away by the actual accuracy of total impact. It's been really pretty interesting. Wow, that's quite the differential there. 5.5 to a 0.86. Interesting.
Hmm.
But you can also see new customer CPAs. You can see a lot of really cool stuff that, again, helps you triangulate the efficacy of your paid media spend and understand the. Okay, so this is what you're saying. So you're getting a ROAS from the Affluencer Hub now. Interesting. This is cool, man. I need to dig deeper into this. This is really neat. Things are moving. What else we got, Logan? So you're excited about.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of fun things like trying to think what's most important to the folks who are listening. I mean,
Any.
one cool thing that's coming soon, like we're moving all of our data to a more flexible data warehouse system. So, like one thing we'll be able to offer you soon are like deeper filters on the pixel page. Like
Yep.
right now, it's just the most basic. You search in a search box for like campaign that contains this name. Like imagine being able to filter it like opposite of the product analytics, where you could say, show me everyone who ordered XYZ product and change your table based on that filter. Being able to look at all ads, just like ads instead of campaigns, and breaking it all down. You could look at all ads and then filter that by spend. Some of that fun stuff is coming in the next like 6 to 8 weeks. Um, if you have any feedback on the Creative Cockpit, like please send it my way. We're doing moving that same database change there, and like we're thinking about spending some time on updating that product just to make it as best as it can be. So if you use that and have some improvements or ideas, let me know.
Love that. What are we doing with the Creative Cockpit?
Right now, it's just moving databases so it can be a little more flexible. We've also had a couple of issues here and there where sometimes data is not matching from the pixel in Creative Cockpit, and this will just ensure that everything's working off the same data set, and that shouldn't be a problem moving forward.
Love that. Love that. Love me some Creative Cockpit. Any tea you want to spill about the iOS app? Have you been on the front lines with that? There's some cool stuff that AJ and Max keeps
Oh
teasing.
yeah.
Or we're keeping that under wraps, or how?
No, I mean, I feel like I don't know what tea I'm allowed to spill. I thought it was like done or getting close to being done because I saw an announcement somewhere that it was available. So I to be honest, I wasn't working on that project at all, and I don't even
Fair
know
play.
how to. I guess when you add the app to your homepage, there's a way for you to customize what's displayed from the app through either the settings or when you hold your thumb on it.
Yep.
Okay. I don't know if it's available. I haven't updated my phone. I kind of just want to try it. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think it's updated yet, but
Okay.
it looks really cool because to your point, I don't know how much we're allowed to spill, but anyways, if you guys are a big user of our mobile app, it's going to destroy your screen time. So RIP to that if you were trying to have some goals there.
Right.
Um, let's see what else we got.
But I do think we can tell people that what we're building you is almost like the weather app experience or like the calendar experience on your iPhone, where you'll be able to visualize like 5 or 6 stats
Yep.
with graphs and percentage changes just on your home screen instead of having to even open the app. So I think that's pretty exciting.
I think it's very, very exciting. It's one of the cool things. My whole big push is if the summary page and then oh yeah, any we have the forever free plan coming. Do we have any
Yeah.
launch times for that or
I mean, I feel like everything's yesterday,
okay?
but I
2
thought
weeks. 2 weeks.
right. I mean, I thought I heard also that might be ready by next week too.
Oh, cool. Okay. Yeah.
I think they're
So,
calling it the Founders Dash.
mhm,
So
love
yeah,
that.
it's like a limited plan. I forgot what the limitations are beyond just like the summary page access, but maybe it's only 3 months of data, summary page. It'll all be on a landing page at some point.
Beautiful. I love it. Um, all right. I think that's all I got. Go check out the Shopify editions. Really cool stuff. Make sure you're on Whale Mail to get all the updates there. What else do we got? We got again the mobile app is going to be really cool, and go play around with the products analytics. I think that's a really cool. Go do some cohort analysis, and then get your stuff. We probably need to do some semblance of a Black Friday, Cyber Monday prep or something like that for people because that's kind of coming around the corner. You have to pretty much get your inventory ordered by probably the next few weeks, honestly, to get to that Q4 because then you're going to have the stuff. So we'll get some Black Friday, Cyber Monday stuff together for you guys. We'll do another brand breakdown. If you want a brand breakdown, hit us up. It's just Rob at Triple Whale. Yeah, Kenny, the mobile T Dub is powerful. I think that's one of our superpowers right now, where we're doing a really, really great job with the mobile app. What else we got? I think we have a new ad coming out, a new big video, but I don't have any dates on that. And then I have to hit Kevin up. We have some events coming up. I think we're going to Atlanta, perhaps, but I'll have to hit up Kevin and get you guys the deets on that. But
In
as
my
always,
backyard, I could probably hit that up.
oh yeah, that's right there. Just jump up to Georgia. It's perfect, or over to Georgia, I guess.
Yeah.
Zoom. What else? Sunday Dink Club. How do people sign up?
What's up? Sunday Dinking Club, SundayDinkingClub.com. I also teamed up with the guy from another channel too, Pickleball Effect.
Yeah.
And so we've moved the podcast to his channel because he already has like 4,500 subs. And so far it's going really well. Like we've gotten amazing engagement on the two we've done together. So
It's beautiful. Yeah, you're a natural host. I love it. We're gonna see if we can't get Sonder back for one last farewell episode, but if not, we'll be writing co-pilot with me and Logan for the next month or so, and then really appreciate all you guys tuning in. Again, let us know if you ever have any questions or anything like that, anything you want to see. We're also due, I forgot, for a CRO breakdown, so maybe we'll get Sean Brandt back on. And do those live breakdowns. You guys seem to like those as well. But I'm a minute over, so I want to be cognizant of everyone's time. If you aren't on Whale Mail, it's triplewhale.com/whale mail. Fantastic newsletter goes out every Tuesday, Thursday. And then we have a couple podcasts, You're Not Your ROAS and Ad Spend. Go check them out. They're all on Spotify's or any podcast catcher of your choice. And then we also have them on the YouTubes if you prefer to watch the podcast versus listen. And then I think that's it, Logan. I think that's all the plugs.
thanks for being here today.
Amazing. Yeah, we'll get them back for you, Kenny. Just for you. for KB. Awesome. Thanks for being here, everybody. Appreciate all the time, and we'll see you next week. Bye bye.
Later.